Herzlich willkommen im Mantra-Podcast. Mein Name ist Johanna Hector und ich freue mich, mit dir in die Welt der höchsten Worte und Klänge einzutauchen. Obwohl ich schon lange Yoga übe und auch unterrichte, habe ich die Kraft und Schönheit der Mantras erst vor ein paar Jahren für mich entdeckt. Mit meinen inspirierenden Gästen möchte ich dir hier ihre vielfältige Bedeutung, Wirkung und Klänge näher bringen. Ganz viel Freude beim Zuhören und Mitchanten. Caroline and Timothy are the creators of Tare Nature Retreat, a retreat center based in Umbria, Italy, where they offer retreats and trainings during spring and summer and live year-round with their baby daughter Tammy. Being a yoga therapist, Caroline has found her soul work in creating healing retreats, offering coaching sessions, and writing books. Tim is a passionate educator in both yoga and the natural sciences. He loves to play guitar and guide ecstatic dance. As a family, they live with the seasons, a deep connection to Mother Nature, and enjoy singing circles to connect to being alive. Welcome, Caroline. Such a pleasure to have you here on the podcast, and of course also Tim in the background.
Thank you, Johanna, for inviting us and for creating this lovely space for people to connect.
Would you like to add anything to the introduction?
I think the main thing present at the moment is that we're parents, so that we have our beautiful 4-month-old Tammy. So Tim and I are both kind of being included in this podcast, but Tim is now with Tammy. So I'll sometimes say we, so I speak kind of for both of us, but so Tim is also included. Yes, and I just think as new parents, we're also finding a lot of different expansions and more growth and a lot of joy in parenthood. So I think that's the main thing that's just present right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, even the retreat center is still growing a lot, right? Since you started really last year. It's also maybe not a baby anymore, but still.
Yeah, we often joke actually that Tara is our firstborn. So that's our first child. And now she's kind of walking by herself already. We have often a good team, a solid team that kind of runs it even without us. So we're slowly rooting more and more, with the retreat center, which allows us to then take a step back. And at the moment, definitely as a family, it's needed.
Yeah. So I can imagine the answer to my next question might also be related to that. I'll ask you anyways. What inspires or moves you the most right now?
I would have two things. First of all, of course, my baby girl. I think to be with a child, you see how present they are. And every time I'm with Tammy, I'm just fully in the moment, fully with her. And I think this is really a gift that children can give us to bring us back to, just seeing the world a bit from this perspective and from this, I would say, reality. This is the real life, right? And as adults, we lose touch with it. What was your question? Sorry, I'm a bit... I know that's the answer, but what was it that you asked?
What inspires or moves you the most right now?
Inspired, yes. So I still have a bit the mother brain, right? Yes, so definitely being present with Tammy. And the second thing that comes up is the autumn leaves. It's really this time of a bit letting go, the end of the busy season. Our summer was really full on. And so the autumn leaves are just this beautiful reminder to shed our weight, to let go of any heaviness before going into the winter. So these things are inspiring.
Do you still have autumn leaves. I think here in Germany, they have all fallen already.
Yes, yeah.
From the trees.
It's true, you're further north. We still have a few, because I'm now looking out the window, actually, and I have quite a nice view of, like these sunburnt orange, yellow. I would say like half the leaves are still, on the trees, half are fallen. So it's a bit the in-between phase between autumn and winter. Yeah.
So nice, yeah. I remember, like, since I've been to your place and I know where you're sitting, I imagine myself sitting next to you and having the same view over the hills.
That's right. You know the views that I'm talking. But you were here in spring, which is such a beautiful, green, abundant time, right? Yeah. So it's
yes.
Yeah, and we've been lucky because we're in Italy, right? So we have had so much sunshine these last weeks. So.
So nice. Maybe for all the listeners, we met because I have joined the Tower Nature team for a month last year in April. It was when you just opened up the retreat center, actually, and I had the chance to be there and support with many different things, and also be part of the very first retreat there, the Easter retreat. So I hope I can be back.
Yes.
Next year.
Oh yeah, we would love to have you. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we will come back to talking about the experience of Tara later. Now I would like to know what mantra you're bringing us today, and you could start explaining a little bit the words. The single words and also the meaning of the mantra as a whole.
So I've already said Tara so many times, so I think it's it's no surprise that we chose the Tara mantra. So the words are Om Tare, Tuttare Ture, Soha, or Svaha, sorry. There's different pronunciations, Svaha. It's a mantra to evoke the qualities of the goddess Tara. And so Tara is known as the female Buddha. She's the goddess of compassion. And the words are, first of all, Om, to open as the essence of consciousness, or the universal reality. Tara, Tare, it's in the mantra, it's actually Tare, but it's evoking the goddess Tara. So it's this essence of compassion. Tuttare is asking for relief of suffering. Ture is a bit also a similar. It's more that you're evoking liberation from physical pain, physical suffering, and emotional suffering. Whereas Tuttare is suffering and fear. Actually, those two. And then Svaha is kind of the closing of it. It's it seals this intention. So as a whole, it's almost like a prayer to the goddess Tara to help relieve suffering. And whether that's when you're chanting, I think it's such a beautiful mantra because you can send it out into the world. You can be chanting for, all the suffering that's present in the world. It can be that you direct it towards a specific person, that you're chanting for someone who's going through a hard time. Or it can be self-compassion. So if you're going through something. So that's what I love about the mantra, is that it can be like directed almost towards something, someone, and towards yourself. So this is, at least that's the way I like to work with it. Yeah.
Yes. And we've talked in this podcast and previous episodes about how even when we dedicate a mantra that we're chanting to another person or the entire world, still we will also receive the energy and the effects ourselves.
Yes. Yeah. And that's so beautiful because while chanting, you activate that energy and you tune yourself to the frequency of the words, of the intentions. So it's true. Yes. It always also comes back. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe just about the last word, Soha or Svaha. I know that in different contexts, or also depending on the region, sometimes this or the other version is used. Could you just explain where this comes from?
I actually, it's funny because Tim and I, when we sing it, we actually sing, and for years I've been singing Soham. And this is because it's a meditation that I often do. It's Soham it's like a transcendental meditation. You can inhale so, exhale hum. And that meaning is actually I am that I am. So it's a bit that you remove all labels and you come back to the basics, basically. And Swaha, which I do think is more perhaps the original part of the mantra. So I'm not even sure if Soham is correct, quote unquote, like if that's the correct way of doing it. But for me, it often resonates more to chant it that way. But Swaha is I think the proper verbalizing of it. And this is more that it closes and it seals the intention. Yeah, we do use actually both versions. We chant it differently, yeah.
Yeah. As far as I know, or what I've read at least, since it's a Buddhist mantra, Soha is the Buddhist way of saying, like, so be it. And Swaha would be more from the Hinduistic, the Sanskrit. But I've noticed singing this mantra with groups at retreats, for example, that people also were singing Soham because it's a very popular and very known mantra also. Yeah. And when you just chant, even consciously or unconsciously, the words might come out this or the other way. And I personally don't believe there is right or wrong.
No, and actually, now that you say, I think there's also something to intuition, right? To maybe chanting what resonates or what comes up in the moment.
So, you also mentioned already that the retreat place that you've created and this mantra are related. So I would love to hear your personal story. What connects you to this mantra? What does it evoke in you?
That's a nice question. It's, yes, so we created Tara Nature Retreat 2.5 years ago, and Tim and I we both had different visions. So before we met, Tim already had a connection to the goddess Tara, but he didn't know it. He was going to Vipassana meditation at a center in Switzerland, and there was a statue at the front of the hall. And he always felt such a connection to this female presence. And but he didn't know it was the goddess, the Tara goddess. But he felt a really strong resonance, and he somehow, just really connected to it. And then he heard at the end of the Vipassana that it was Tara. And he thought it was such a beautiful name that he even had something that he thought he would name his daughter Tara. And when we met, I had a vision for years to create a retreat center. And we then embarked on this beautiful adventure together. I don't know where I had heard the name Tara, but I had already thought if I have a daughter, I would love to call her Tara. And so we once started talking about names randomly. What would you think of? Do you already have some names for children or something? When we were already together. And we both had this name. We both had Tara. And it was such a strange synchronicity. And then, of course, the goddess Tara holds a lot of power in the feminine. And I think when we created Tara Nature Retreat, or when we then found this beautiful property in Italy, and we just knew this was the place and this is where we wanted to live and create a healing space for people to come. The name Tara Nature Retreat, it was, it came very quickly that we both felt, okay, this is perhaps our first child, our daughter. I think it's strange to kind of think of it that way, but it has been almost like a birthing process and a creation. Creation processes can often be like a spiritual birthing, and definitely the hard work. It's cost us sleepless nights. It's cost us a lot of joy and also a lot of challenge. So it's been quite a journey to create. And we both felt that to have a feminine presence. So to have the name of a goddess also brought in the essence of the feminine. So to rest, to be, to come back to that place of feminine energy, and also receiving, because when people come here, they're also coming in a place of receiving and coming to restore themselves, and just stepping into more of that feminine energy that's often so lacking in the outside world, right? So that's a bit the story of our connection with Tara. And then the Tara mantra has become, naturally it's become something that we always include in our retreats, and that we also chant a lot. So it's somehow kind of evolved naturally together.
Yeah, I would love to share that story also from myself. And I've been with you, and I remember at this first retreat, and we had a singing circle together with the group. And then we were singing Om Tare, the mantra, and I was so moved. I remember I was crying and having goosebumps just because I was imagining how it must feel like for you, having put all this love and energy and work into this place. And then singing the mantra with the first retreat group for me felt like the manifestation, like the dream has come true and it's a reality now. And wow, even thinking about it now, it's still, it was an emotional moment, I guess, for you as well. Right. And you've also told me that you usually chant it with every group that comes, and I think it's a beautiful ritual also of course, for everyone, but also for Tim and you to remember this is what we've created, what we've given birth to, kind of, or what you are co-creating with this beautiful place there with nature in Italy. Yeah, because sometimes I think when we have been doing something for a while and we get very used to it, we tend to forget, or sometimes forget also to appreciate how we got there and how precious that is. You're so right, and I love that you brought that memory also back. The first time that our opening retreat, which was so exciting for us. And you're really right. Every time we chant that mantra with groups, when I chant it by myself, it's not so present. But definitely when we're in the shala with a group or during a retreat, it really anchors me back to this is why we created it, and this is what we're creating. Yeah. So beautiful. Well, I guess it's time to listen to it. And I'm so glad that Tim is also joining with the guitar.
Om Tare, Tuttare Ture, Svaha. 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 Om Tare, Tuttare Ture, Tare, Tuttare Ture, Svaha. Om 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 Tare, Tuttare Ture, Svaha.
Thank you very much for sharing this. One last question before we close. So, what is one word, only one word, that our world needs the most right now?
Love. I think love. Unconditional love. Love for your neighbor, love for your strangers, love for people we perhaps don't understand, love for our family, love for ourselves, self-love. Yeah, so I think love, love, love.
Yes. Thank you. I guess being a mother, you really know what unconditional love means, right?
Yeah, I was taking a bath today and I was thinking about the nature of love, and I just had this comparison that, the bath, if bath is like the relationships in our lives, or then the salts that we put in, the oils, the bubbles for the bath, all this doesn't make the bath, right? It's all the little extra things that maybe we think of as love, but it's not. Love is the water. And somehow that for me, it's something that's, water is tasteless, it's colorless, it seems so mundane, so boring, but actually it's everything, it's life. And I think sometimes love is masked as all these colorful, beautiful smelling things, where really, I think I'm learning definitely a new layer, a new level of love, being a mother. And I also, you don't have to be a parent to know what unconditional love is, of course. It's, I think it's something definitely as humans we can all experience and give, but I think often love is maybe romanticized in a way, like, I don't know if I'm saying it, if it makes sense, that there's like this Hollywood type of love that has a lot of hoopla, and then there's like the water in the bathtub that doesn't seem like much, but it's, the real kind of love. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, at least to me. Yeah, I love the comparison. Doesn't sound as romantic, but love is not always romantic.
Yeah.
And actually, how you put it, it's like we limit ourselves thinking that love is only the shiny, sparkly kind of thing. It's actually, like just like the water, it's always there.
It's always there, exactly, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. And you also kind of gave us a little taste of how poetic you can be. I know it from your books. So would you like to share how, people can be in touch from you, read from you, maybe join a retreat, a little preview to next year, or how you'd like people to connect with you?
Oh, thank you for inviting that also. Yes, so we of course have our retreats here at Tuttare Nature. We're located just north of Rome, so we're in Italy, and we have our spring retreat, which Johanna was at 2 years ago, actually. Yeah, and so that's every year we do that in Easter weekend, and we have a May retreat, and we've also started teacher training. So we do a 200-hour yoga teacher training in September. And we did the first round this year, which was really powerful. And we will continue. So we have, different kinds of offerings, which you can see on our website, tarrenatureretreat.com. We also have a seasonal newsletter, which I love to write. So that's also where my writing, my creativity comes in. I like to share a recipe that goes along with the season, that connects to the season. And we also always then update on our events. And if you do happen to come to Tara, then we have a little bookshop at our retreat center where we also share our creative work. So I have written two books and a cookbook. And Tim has also written a book. So both Tim and I are writers. We enjoy writing. Yes.
And there might also be the option to come as a karma yogi, a volunteer, right?
Yes.
I guess there might be some people listening interested also in that.
Oh, yeah.
Spending a longer time with you.
Wonderful. Thank you for also reminding me. Because of course you were here for 1 month. So if, like Johanna, you're a bit curious to see how we run things, or you're just inclined to have a longer retreat from the world, then yes, we are looking still for karma yogis. So karma yogi is that you join a retreat, half price, and then you're just here for the retreat week, maybe a few days before, maybe after. And volunteers we're looking for, and that's a longer stay. So that's like 3 to 4 weeks. We like to have people join the team. Yeah, and then you also experience the retreats and the background. So the running of the retreat and the in-between weeks.
Okay. Thank you so much, Caroline and Tim and Tammy, for your voices, for your sharing. And I also want to thank you again personally for having created this wonderful place for people to connect to their nature and remember what really matters to them. I think it's so important.
Thank you, Johanna, so much. And we really hope to see you here again.
Yes, I really hope so too.
And maybe someone listening also.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Johanna, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Vielen, vielen Dank dir fürs Zuhören. Wenn dir die Folge gefallen hat und du den Podcast unterstützen möchtest, dann abonniere ihn gerne und schreibe mir eine positive Bewertung. Du kannst mir auch auf Social Media folgen und dort einen Kommentar unter dem Post zu dieser Folge hinterlassen. Schreib mir auch gerne deine Wünsche für Mantras, die du gerne hier im Podcast vorgestellt haben möchtest. Und natürlich kannst du dich auch für meinen Newsletter anmelden und somit immer als erste von meinen aktuellen Terminen, Retreats und Podcast-Folgen erfahren. Bis ganz bald zur nächsten Folge. Deine Johanna.